Howard is also in the news. Interestingly, and not for the same reason. They have got their feathers ruffled a little bit. They going into the school year have recently got in the news because they have unenrolled about 500 plus students who had some issues with payment installments. They were unenrolled is determined to have not met the July 10th tuition payment plan, scholarship, or financial aid documentation deadline. The university has since reinstated about 46 students, still leaving several hundred who are still out there, while other students' cases remain under review. Students were notified starting in March of this year, 2026, with additional reminders through orientation sessions and emails. The university had to finalize enrollment, housing, financial aid, and of course, scheduling before the semester began. Therefore, students whose accounts accurately reflect, based upon their information, unpaid balances or incomplete financial arrangements by the deadline lost their enrollment. So if they were enrolled in classes, they were unenrolled. Many students argue and their families that they never received timely notice about the payment deadline. Some scholarship awards just got posted, and they only learned that they were unenrolled after receiving that they were withdrawn from school. Howard has indicated that it will continue reviewing appeals individually and reinstate students where records show financial aid, scholarships, or payment should be satisfied for enrolling them in school. In this, Howard is one of the most visible and well-known HBCUs in the country. You got Howard, of course, you've got Hampton, you've got Morehouse, Spelman, but Howard is in that kind of like top.
Fisk, Clark, yes.
Exactly, along with Tuskegee as well, Jimmy. And
Hmm.
so there's probably some culpability on both sides. We know with a lot of our HBCUs that a lot of their systems are not going to be up to speed with a Harvard or a Yale or even a Texas A&M or a UNO or something of that nature. So I can't say that I went to an HBCU, but I do know several friends who went to HBCUs, and the one thing that they argued about and complained about was administration and systems of record that have led to this stuff. And so, Jimmy, it's kind of a painful thing that a lot of students are having to go through, and I certainly hope this can be resolved at a mass level for more of these students.
Well, it's too late this year, Tom. From what way you explained it, they already been unenrolled, and other students have been given their slots, have
Yes,
been enrolled, and to replace them, so they're just ass out. But here's what I don't understand, Tom. I know it's been 40 years since I've been in college, but here's the thing: when I went to school, on the day of registration, if you couldn't pay your tuition, they had the Pell Grant office there. You can go fill out some paperwork for that. The student loan folks you would have to go to if the Pell Grant wasn't going to be enough or you didn't qualify for a Pell Grant. And then they had the work study line that you can go sign up for. So they had means there to help you get some money coming in, even if you couldn't pay all the tuition. But back then when I went to school, Tom, the day myself, our tuition was $12 a credit hour. You
ooh,
know, now, I mean, I don't even think you can get anything for less than $200-300 a credit hour anymore.
yeah.
These tuitions are outrageous. I mean, back when I went to school, I worked at UPS my sophomore year, unloading boxes, unloading trucks, and I would just take my check each week and take it to the bursar's office, and I paid my tuition, my dorm room, my meal plan, just working at UPS for 4 hours a night. Now I don't think you can work part time, Tom, and work your way to school anymore. The price of school has gotten too outrageous, but are there not options for these kids now to seek funding? I mean, does everything got to come out of the parents' pocket?
No, no, no. I mean, most of them, of course, you've got Pell grants, you've got state grants, depending on what state you're in. Of course, you've got loans, which I don't think are a good idea unless you absolutely have to. And then, of course, you've got work study, and then funding that may come from parents. But and I can't say everybody's case is individual. I know somebody whose child wasn't in a situation where they got enrolled, but they were very close because unfortunately it was kind of a blended family situation. And what he told me, they went to school with him. His basically what he said is that they were getting notices, and unfortunately, the other parent, not within his household, was saying, "All right, well, I'll get the money to you." And since he went to an HBC, he was like, "Oh, it'll be okay. Don't worry about it." And he was like, "I don't know because I don't want to take any chances." And fortunately for them, they were able to get their financial, because they were on a payment plan for their daughter. They were able to get it rectified because at the end of the day, their daughter had several people who were unenrolled, and they are in a bad place because right now, Jimmy, with school about to start, it's going to be very difficult to get into a slot at a school, a competitive school, because
Yes.
Howard is among the most competitive, and you got a long waiting list of students
Yes, you do.
sitting up, waiting in the wings. So if something happened, they got in, and so they're gonna maybe have to go to a JUCO or community college.
But Tom, do these schools not wait till you enroll and take a class before they start asking for money? You have to pay up front now before
You have to get
before day one.
not 100%, but they're gonna have to pay something up front because this is what happens. You and I both know that unlike Texas A&M and University of Texas that is going to get perpetual oil money from their state, most of our HBCUs are severely underfunded by their state governments. They're not getting the money that they were being owed in the order of magnitudes of billions of dollars across hundreds of them. And so the reality of it is most of them are working on a very low margin. And as a result, they are a business. They've got expenses that they've
I
got.
do understand, Tom, but it's like, can I at least get enrolled first and maybe a week or two after I'm enrolled, then start hounding me for money? But it's not even day one. These are new students, and you
You're
hadn't
right.
attended one class yet, and you're already asking for some money up front. I
Yeah,
mean, I guess things have changed from the
they
time I
have.
went to school.
They have.
That you had time to pay after you were enrolled, or set up an installment plan and pay something on a weekly basis or
They
whatever.
want, okay, Jimmy, let me put it this way. They like the government. They want their money. And they want some of their money up front. They want some of their money up front because they figure once you get in there, it's gonna be hard to get you out of there. But they want something, they want a down payment, they want something up front. They are like the government of the United States. They want their money. And if you don't get their
Yeah.
money, if you don't get the money, you ain't getting in the door.
Wow, boy, yeah, it's rough now. I guess, man, if that's the way it is now, things have changed since I was in
Yeah,
school.
I got a
Wow.
couple of comments from brother Frederick Roberts. Let me see. Basically said, I bet he said, I bet you they pay their phone bills, Netflix and Spotify on
Yeah, they
time.
pay the phone bill now. You got to pay that phone bill.
And he said it is a pay as you go, which I mean they don't have to pay everything up front, but they do have to be on an installment plan. And if they don't get a certain amount of money up front, they get unenrolled, unfortunately.
Say, Tom, see if Fred would do a class action lawsuit to help these kids out.
It's probably too many kids for him to handle, but it's going to be a situation. I'm pretty sure Brother Roberts can tell it because he's in Prairie View, and I know he knows a lot about this. We'll keep an eye on this and let you know what happens as we move forward.